I'll kill you if you don't stop that crime. And I'll kill anybody else that stands in the ways of freedom. Now, we ain't going back. That day ain't not our home. So let's move.
I don't know why we leaving Mouse's house. He been good to us.
What's up, fellas? It's your main man, back on the scene with another video. The clip you just watched is from a movie called Hollywood Shuffle, and you're gonna see how that clip relates to what Brother Phil is gonna speak on in this video. Let's check it out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the stream today. It is Tuesday, July 23rd. We're trucking along in July, and we have a good stream, or hopefully it'll be a good stream for you today. I want to give a shout out to the great family I met at the grocery store today. I was getting some items for everybody. I've been just really busy today. I've been just in the trenches, right? Today I filmed about 20, hold on, let me count it, wait. Hold on, 20. Yes, okay, so I filmed about 24 videos today, and doing this stream, so it'll be number 25. So I've been busy today. So in the midst of me being busy, I kind of finished at the right time. So I went to the store, and I run into a great family and everything. They actually was from my hometown. We got a lot of people from my hometown actually staying in this area. So shout out to that family that I met, wonderful family. And they said, you know, they've been following way before we even became African diaspora, the old days, right? So shout out to that family. You know, in the midst of all the things I've been doing today, I've been saying, okay, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to stream about tonight? And then I said, let's talk about something that really, something that happened, something that we just really need to get into about black folk in America. Let's just have a real conversation about the majority of it.
So you see here, black Americans want to be comfortable in captivity. It's just like that clip. I don't know why we leaving Master's house.
Yeah, not all, but the majority. So let me go ahead on and get to the devotional.
Yeah, you got a plan for not all police.
And let's just have this conversation, a real conversation about black America. So let's see, what we gonna talk about tonight? Let's get with our homeboy, Eric Mays. There we go.
I'm just telling you, I'm gonna let you talk.
Who you talking to? You gonna let? We're gonna skip this. I don't like this stuff.
You doing what you do. You on your job. So all right, let's get into it tonight. Now you see what I put down on the lower third. Black Americans want to be comfortable in captivity. Why do you think I put that? They just want to be comfortable in captivity. They don't want to really do nothing for themselves. I'm not talking about all, but I'm talking about probably about the majority, right? I'll say probably about a good 70, 75%. They don't want to do for themselves. They actually want to depend on the folks for everything. They just don't want to deal with racism. Listen, if you could tell them, look, we will run everything. We will guarantee you won't deal with racism. We'll give you some tokenized positions. We're gonna run it though, but we'll give you some tokenized positions, no racism, no police brutality, no any of that. You can just be happy and comfortable and do whatever. You're not gonna be in charge of anything, but we'll make sure you're comfortable. The majority of black America will sign up for that. Then some of those same people will get mad at other groups of people that's not trying to sign up for that.
It's true, man. You think about it. Look at the voting strategy. Vote blue, no matter who, which is literally the dumbest voting strategy known to mankind. No matter what, no matter how they treat you.
By the time I finish with you, you might even get a few black folks in the till.
Well, start would be just getting the bastards off my front lawn. Starting to look like a damn minstrel show out there.
You still gonna vote for that guy?
And isn't it a lovely morning?
Up your
You still gonna vote for that woman? Don't matter how they treat you. you'll still vote for them because they claim Democrat. And you can say the same thing for poor whites. They vote to keep themselves broke. They do the same thing. They're just as dumb. The Joker could have 2 teeth in his mouth, a penny, some chewing tobacco, and a case of Mountain Dew. As long as he believes he's doing better than your black ass, he's all right. We gonna vote red. Make sure we ain't dead. Long as the niggers ain't got none, we all right. But they're broke.
Actually trying to do for themselves and trying to wedge their way in to get some sort of power in here. Now you may ask, why are you saying that, Phil? Why you said the majority in because you got to think about it. It's a minority of black Americans, and I believe this so. It's a minority of black Americans that don't want to be in captivity. It's a minority that actually want to control their own economy.
Well, that's people in general. I saw somewhere where it says that 95% of the population is highly suggestionable, which means you can make the suggestion and they won't question it. And 5% is mildly suggestionable, meaning they will question the suggestion. So there's only going to be a handful of people, no matter what group of people you're talking about, that's going to be like, hold up, there's something wrong. Most people are going to be stuck in the matrix.
Most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system that they will fight to protect it.
Rock and roll.
Control their education, control their own health, control everything on their own and not depend on somebody else. It is a minority. And y'all have to understand, those of you who are in the minority, you dealing with a majority you're fighting against. And you have to understand, they do not want to move off of that. But you have to also remember during the civil rights movement, not all black folks wanted any kind of freedom either.
Yeah, most people are like Jasper.
I don't know why we leaving Mouse's house. He been good to us.
Still comfortable in that. And you got to remember, the first person that harmed Martin Luther King was actually a black person. It wasn't the folks, it was a black person. Well, let me get to why I say this. Now, what I'm talking about here, it has nothing to do with Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm actually glad she's running for president, actually. I'm glad. Because her running for president really showed me something that I tried to kind of deny a little bit about a lot of people in black America. But her running, it was a sad reality check I had to have today about black America. Just a sad reality check. Just very sad. Now, what led me to really understand the reality check I had to have this morning when I thought about all this? What was my reality check?
You're late to the game, brother.
Let me what started my reality check. Let me go right here. Let me pull it up on the screen, my reality check. This is the first reality check I had. 40,000 black women rally behind Kamala Harris's campaign.
It's dumb when you think about it. You're voting for someone just because of how they look, not how their policies are going to make your life better, and how the government's going to get out of your pocket or something like that, because she's allegedly black and a woman.
Raising $1.5 million in 3 hours. And I thought about that. Now you can say, well, Phil, that's nothing. I mean, it's millions of black women in this country. They didn't all participate in that. Like I said, it was only a small group, if you think about it, out of the millions of black people. But that's not the point. Of course, the majority did participate in this. But 40,000 people get together in the black community, raise $1.5 million in 3 hours. And I come to realize something, that the only time you mobilize as black people is under 2 banners, the banner of Democrat and the banner of white Jesus. You would not mobilize under black.
That's true.
Unless Democrat.
It's very true.
Democrats say it's okay. Let me go to the second thing that I looked at that I said, okay, we need to have this conversation here. The second one, MSNBC. Of course, Joy Reid, right? Black men backing Kamala Harris fuel another fundraising spree. An organizer of Monday's night's virtual Win with Black Men event said more than 53,000 attendees helped raise more than 1.3 million in 4 hours for Harris's campaign.
Jesus Christ.
We'll get to a little bit more of that later, but let's just talk about that just on.
So them butter biscuits must be real good.
Gentlemen, this has nothing to do with Vice President Kamala Harris. It's about the mentality of Black America. What they have shown is that they didn't learn anything from Barack Obama.
Nothing.
Vice President Harris hasn't promised anything to black people.
I remember I used to have a message board, and the guy was saying that Obama's not black. I said, what do you mean? Then he elaborated further. Well, he's not Black American. And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, that can make a difference. You know, people from other countries, they have their own way. Yeah, he was born in Hawaii, so they say. But he didn't grow up like a brother. He didn't grow up using his desk as a drum when he was in school. We used to try to see who had the funkiest beat and all that stuff. He didn't grow up doing that. I voted for him the first time, but the second term, I wrote myself in as a candidate because I didn't see anything he did that benefited the people. The Democrats had the presidency and both houses. Nothing.
Didn't promise a thing. All Vice President Kamala Harris has to be is black adjacent.
Yep.
Listen to the words I'm using.
And a
black
woman.
Adjacent. What does adjacent mean? Basically, close to. She's black adjacent. That's all we need. See, with Barack Obama, okay, hey, I'll give you a pass to Barack Obama. But after Barack Obama, you should have learned your lesson by now. Clearly, you have not.
I give you a pass on the first term. Yeah, I know that moment. We never thought we'd see a black face in the White House. I get it. But after that first term, and nothing came your way, you should have been like, oh, hold up, pump the brakes. So the problem with the black community is we are too accepting. We built this culture of wanting to be accepted and accepting other people, while at the same time, no one is that accepting of us. It's a sucker's deal, man. You're not getting anything out of it. You don't need the alliance.
Learned your lesson. She hasn't promised Black America anything at all. She has not gave any kind of promises what she's going to do for Black Americans. But like I said, it's not her I got a problem with. She's not my issue. We're living in an economy that is struggling. And it's the Biden-Harris administration in the office. The Biden-Harris administration is sending money to Ukraine, money to Israel, but she was at AIPAC saying she's going to give them all kind of money a while ago. But she tell us she's not only going to do something specifically for black people, but you know, that's her husband people, right? But this woman has not promised a thing. And I'm sitting up here watching, they started gender warring already. Like the gender warring has started. You have all of the males that's running around here, and I've talked about that before. I don't know why is it with a lot of these men who's running around here talking about Democrat, why do y'all got to be sassy and seem buck broken? What is it with that? Like, why?
Because they benefited from the programs. DEI is for women and the LGBT community. That's who benefits from that. You're a heterosexual male, Not happening.
I need some explanation about that. But then when people had brought it to their attention, I said people, and when I say people, I mean black people, black men and black women. They were asking the question and they said, hey, okay, you raised $1.5 million. Why can't we do this for issues in the community, addressing homelessness?
Exactly.
Building our own schools, our supermarkets that we don't have in the community that can give us some healthy food. Or maybe we can start some medical centers so we can get some actual proper treatment. You know what the response from them was? Do it yourself. Nobody, who's stopping you from doing it? You can do it right now. Host a Zoom and see.
So the realization that he's coming to, I realized this decades ago. Most of these folks are not going to get on board, man. They are content with the way they are. When I was going to school, Samson G. Smith, I remember they used to stop at the synagogue and let the Jewish kids off the bus, and they would go to the synagogue. So I asked this guy one day, hey, what are you doing in there? He's like, oh, we're studying our history, our culture, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that kind of bothered me somewhat. Because I'm like, all these churches in black neighborhoods, and they're not doing the same thing. It is your job to make sure that your children understand their history, have knowledge of self. That's your job. That's not the public school system. It's not the government. That's your job. And they do that. They have their own ambulance companies and all that stuff. Like in Lakewood, New Jersey, they have their own ambulance, all that.
See how many people show up. You know why they don't do it? Because you're not going to show up. Because if it's not underneath the banner of Democrat or white Jesus, you're not showing up. And I can't even say white Jesus, so I'm going to say Democrat. If it's not underneath the banner of Democrat, you're not showing up. That's why they haven't done it. Let's call it what it is. I told you, they're not even focusing on white Jesus no more. Their God is Democrat. That's their God. And whatever that politician is that the Democrats anoint, that's their leader. They don't care about black homelessness. They don't care about that. They don't care about the school to prison pipeline. They don't care about black maternal health. They don't care about black people not having being homeowners. They don't care about black people, having businesses.
Only thing these chicks is worried about is abortion. That's it. That's all they're worried about. That's all they talk about. You guys had 20 million. And that's all they're concerned with. Like, how has that helped the black community? My God, man.
Or injection of capital. Black businesses are suffering all over this country right now bad. How these cities are using permits to get black people out of their business. How people are literally attacking black businesses like the 1960s all over again.
See, that's where you see the real racism at. Government action, policing, finance. The money. But people don't get it, man. Y'all just don't get it.
They don't care. They don't care about that. All they care about is getting a black adjacent woman in the White House. They haven't promised us anything. And then that's...
We're just dumb. Because the president doesn't have as much an effect on your life like your local government. Your mayor, your governor, your state senators and congressmen and all that, representatives, they have more of an effect on your life than the president. But you guys go to sleep on that. The first black is symbolism. It does the people no good, none. We got the first black this, the first black that. Where the money at?
So you ready, brother? Here it is. Show me the money.
That's what you should be concerned with. Getting banged.
Let's move to the black men, because they're not going to be outdone, right? And we know what kind of black men this is. So I'm not going to say that's the rank and file black man. So you got that kind of black male who don't have no bass in his voice. That kind of black male Oh, I'm not gonna let these women outdo me.
Hey, girl.
I'm gonna show I can do it, right? Because the shaming tactics work on them. So they're not out here looking about true reform for criminal justice reform with the brothers. They're not trying to donate millions of dollars to grassroots organizations that's out here on the ground and solidified to be fighting police brutality cases. Or, hey, can we take this money to put some of this towards some legal funds to get some of our people out of prison or whatever the case may be. The same thing they said to them. Hey, man, we could be doing this and that and third. You go do it then. We did it. You do it. People are not going to show up for that because it's not underneath the banner of Democrat. So it leads me to believe one thing.
Vote blue no matter who.
The majority of you are put like this. The majority, if they would reinstitute slavery, but this wouldn't be with brutality version of it. This won't be brutal or the SA side of it, but just be, it's still slavery, but it just won't be brutal or it just won't be the SA side of it. Nothing brutal or nasty or nothing like that. A lot of them will sign up for it.
I miss you, massa. They would. Them butter biscuits must be hella good, man.
Yeah, Michelle, look, Michelle, I'm feeling like you, Michelle. I'm feeling just like you. Because I said that, hey, look, when it came to Biden, I said this. If Biden wins that election, I said this. I'm not saying nothing negative about Joe Biden. If Kamala Harris wins this election, I'm not saying nothing negative about Kamala Harris. Whatever she do and they complain, I'm going to ride down on them and say, hey, that's what you wanted. I ain't going to say nothing negative about her.
Voted for
Not
her.
at all. But I'm going to tell you this, let me tell the black people something that want freedom. Let me tell you the black people that want to control something and have a destiny for yourself. I am truly now understanding the scripture like never before, that all will not be saved. Much as you want to save them, they will not be saved.
You can't save them. You can't save people who don't think there's anything wrong. You just have to leave them behind. It's just how it is. I've been saying this for years. And I see guys finally catching up. You cannot save the masses. It's just the way it is. I remember I was going to work one day. I used to work in Baskin Ridge at Verizon. Riding down 78, Star Buck Wild. That's back when he was popular on the radio. He's like, the black man must separate from the nigga. And I agree with that. White folks separate themselves. That's why white trash exists. And I have seen it. I was at a party in high school, and what they perceived to be white trash showed up, they called the police on them. They didn't want them in there. Everybody's not on your level. We all black, Pan-Africanism, it's not realistic, in my opinion. It's just not. There's 2,000 different ethnic groups in Africa alone. They're not all gonna be friends. They're not gonna be our friends. You see the smoke when people come over here. They look down on you, call you names, even though they ran from their homeland because it's a shithole. But it's beside the point. Not all black folks, or what they say, not all skin folk is kin folk. Just gotta leave them behind. I mean, leave the door open, maybe they'll wake up someday, but you cannot wait on the masses to wake up. I've been realized this. He's just coming to that realization. It's rock and roll.
You have to understand more and more every day, only a third will be saved. I understand it more today than I have ever understood it. Only a third.
Welcome aboard.
And if you are in that third, God bless you. If you are in that third. But the majority, the 2/3 are gonna pass away because they don't have what it takes to be free. I understand why Harriet Tubman took that shotgun with her. Oh, I understand. Because y'all have to understand, the same spirit that was in them people that Harriet Tubman was trying to get to freedom is in these people today too.
Yeah, they didn't want to leave.
Not everybody's ancestor was courageous. Some of their ancestors was fine on that plantation.
Again, the majority are not going to get on board. That's just how it is. Most people don't have it. And in the case of slaves, that's all they knew. Like in the fictional TV show Roots, Kunta Kinte, he kept running or trying to escape from the plantation because he was born free. He knows what it's like. The rest of them, that's all they knew. And I believe that's where we got that culture of acceptance from. You're looking at the black folks on the plantation, their lives is effed up. But then you look at Massa, Mr. Charlie lived good. So I think they developed, well, white is good and black is bad. I believe that's where they developed that, or we developed that mentality from. Let's go.
Ancestors didn't want to escape. Some of their ancestors actually turned other black folks in to the slave master when they trying to rise up on them. Some of their ancestors was clearly kicked off the plantation after they had to release them. Some of the ancestors say, well, master, I don't want to go nowhere. I want to stay with you. Some of the ancestors were that way. We talk about these great stories about slavery with some of our people being heroic, but some of our people was not heroic. It's the truth. They carry the same lineage of their family, just like you may carry the same lineage of your family. And trust me, the same vile and vicious talk that they do to you today, because you want to focus on some sort of wisdom, independence, and freedom of thought, the same attitude on the plantation. Hey man, look, we can't be in slavery like this, man. Man, we gotta plan something, get up all this plantation, and I want to burn Master's house down. I want to do all that. What you want to do that for? We got it good over here. We deal with some problems, but we got a place to stay. We got food. Like, what's wrong with you? What you doing all that talk about escaping for?
Sounds like Jasper.
Or you talking crazy?
You're crazy.
You the same crazy attitude today from the Democrats here. What you doing talking about against the Democrats? What's wrong with you? You a sellout. You hate black women. Y'all misogynist for not want to vote for this woman.
So if you don't vote for your own demise, you don't vote to be replaced, you're a sellout. The shaming tactics, man. Jesus Christ. If you go for that stuff, you're a weak ass mofo, man. Stop voting for them. Demand something for your vote. You don't vote for a party, you vote for policy. What's in it for me? What am I getting out of this? Now I gotta vote. I vote for the Democrat because if Trump get back in there, he gonna make us slaves again. You already a slave. He been president for 4 years before. Ain't nothing bad happened to us. You can't point to one piece of legislation that the Trump administration passed that was designed specifically to hurt black Americans. Maybe he didn't do nothing that helped us out, maybe. But he didn't do anything to hurt us. It's not going to change anything. But your boy, Jim Crow Joe, we can point to specific things that he did that targeted us. You can see him arguing with Bernie Sanders on C-SPAN about that crime bill they passed, the 1994 crime bill. I remember when H. Ross Perot was running. He was talking about NAFTA. Yeah, if they sign that bill, you're going to hear a boom of jobs leaving the United States. What happened? The process was already gone, but that NAFTA and other treaties after that, gotta wake up, people. Gotta wake up. I don't see it happening, and I hope I'm wrong, but you have to wake up.
It's the same attitude, y'all. The same attitude. Nothing has changed. We're talking about our people. We're not talking about others. Not everybody's ancestor was brave. That same spirit of cowardice is still in our lineage too. People like that, Buckhorse, do not want to repent. They don't want to follow thus saith the Lord. They want to follow thus saith Democrat. Their God is man.
I'm gonna cut that off there. It is another what, 40 minutes, which you can watch on your own. Just want to listen to the first part of this. And you can look at the caption down here. Black Americans want to be comfortable in captivity. Yeah, they are comfortable. The masses are comfortable being broke. I was having a conversation with my cousin some years back, and this is when I was all gung-ho with the pro-black thing, trying to uplift the people and all that. And I was talking about the projects. He was like, they want to live like that. I was like, nah, man, everybody wants to live somewhere nice. He was like, no, they like it. It's true, they do. I was wrong. I was wrong. They do. There's nothing you can do for them. That's why I was like, throw the towel in. It's a wrap on that. Those of us who want to build, get up on our feet, need to do so. The rest of them, you just have to forget about them. Anyways, brothers, do your brother man a favor. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Ring that notification bell. And I'll see you brothers in the next video. Peace.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.